Hi everybody, welcome back to Enlisted, and this is actually on my PlayStation 4. You can probably hear it whining away in the background like a Harrier jump jet. But I wanted to do a video about upgrading your soldiers and squads, because since I last did my beginner's guide video, Enlisted have simplified the system, made it much better and easier to understand than it was before. But if you're new to Enlisted, and if you've got an Xbox One or a PlayStation 4 or a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series S or X or even a PC, I highly recommend you download this free to play game and give it a go. It is a World War II shooter, first person, and it is an awful load of fun. And don't be put off by anybody who says, oh, it's pay to win and all this sort of stuff. You can just play it for free and you'll have a great time. If you want to pay some money for the battle pass so you level up faster, great. But you simply don't need to. So I've been playing on the PlayStation 4, played a couple of games, so now I've earned some stuff in order to start making my soldiers and my squads better. So first off, let's look at soldiers. So you'll know already that you'll have your allies and your Axis squads and soldiers, and each soldier is an individual person. Even though they die, you know, they do respawn. Each one is individual. So if we look at this squad here, which is my the airborne squad, we've got Neil Hansen here. Now he is a assaulter, I think he is, which means he can carry the submachine gun. So if we click on him, we can then see Neil composes basically of two parts. He's got his weaponry, his loadout that we can modify, and then we have his perks. So his perks are just like perks would be in something like Call of Duty or Battlefield or something like that. So being able to, in this case, he starts off with a perk that enables him to climb faster. But then there might be one that enables him to run faster when crouched. There might be one that enables him to aim faster or have less. His weapon will stabilize faster after movement. So there's all these perks that he can have. Now, with every single perk, he becomes slightly better, doesn't he? He becomes, you know, a more effective soldier that you can use on the battlefield. And how many perks he can have depends on his rank. Now, this might be a little bit difficult to see, but Neil is a rank 3 soldier. You might be able to see just there. There's 3 stars. One's yellow, so it's a bit invisible. So he's a rank 3. So he can have, I think that means he can have 4 perks on him. The higher the rank, the more perks you can have. So if we look at Melvin underneath him, you might be able to see, and Christopher and David, they've only got 1 little star. So if we go to Christopher, for example, Christopher can, because he's only a 1-star soldier or rank 1, he can only have 2 perks. So he has his base perk that he has, which is kind of random, and then he has his new perk that you can choose for him. So the first thing to do, you know, to make Neil a little bit better, we can choose a new perk. So we can click on here. So right, I want a new perk, and it will draw you 3 cards, I guess, and you can choose which one. Now what you'll notice is these perks require perk points, so 3 stamina, I think that is, 2 weapon handling, or 4 stamina, I think, for those. So you can choose which ones to have. Now we can see that Neil has got 10 of the speed, vitality and weapons. There we go. So 10 speed, 7 vitality, and he's got 8 weapon handling perks. So we haven't used any yet, so we can look at these and think, okay, so we can have 100% breath holding while aiming. Well, he's not a sniper, so he probably doesn't need that. 15% speed of decreasing shot spread after quick turning of the firearm, 25% shot spread after quick turning of the firearm. Now, because of what he is with the submachine gun, that might actually be quite good. So it means that when you're sprinting into an objective to kill the enemies, the gun isn't going to be as inaccurate for as long. Or we could go minus 50% effect of head shaking caused by nearby explosion. So I'm going to go for this middle one, so we're going to receive that perk there. If I press the right button. Cool. So that's what he's now got. And you might be able to see that on his star, the first star is now filled in. So he's a slightly better soldier. So how do we get to the next star so we can have next perks? Well, what you do is you just play with him. You just use him as a soldier on the battlefield. He will then gain experience And then with that experience, you'll then start to unlock the ability to use these other stars, and you can unlock further perks. Now, so it gets slightly more complicated. Let's say we want to take Neil to the next rank, so give him the ability to have 5 perks, so his base perks and then those 3 extra runs. This is where you're going to spend some of your points. So if you see here, so it says to get to rank 4, we're going to need 6 of the soldier orders. So if we go up here, you can see the orders. So if we click on here, we can see at the moment I have 6 bronze orders, 8 silver and no gold orders. So that's what you earn from completing objectives in a game, you know, killing players, capturing objectives, doing various things. Let's go back to Neil. If I got 6 of those, I could spend them and then change him to a rank 4 soldier. Now, remember, we don't want to do that until we've filled up all his perks here. So 1, 2, 3. So when all those 3 stars are filled up, and we think, actually, I want him to be a bit better. I'm not that happy with how he is. I want him to be better. We could then spend those soldier orders to give us the ability to give him another perk. However, you do have to bear in mind the fact that you do have a limited number of perk points. So Neil here, for example, has 10 of the feet one, 7 of the vitality ones, and 6 of the weapon handling ones. Now we've used 2 of the weapon handling ones, but if you got to a point where you wanted to apply those another perk and you didn't have enough perk points, this is where you would then use training. So you would then spend a bronze soldier order, and that would give you a random perk point that you could then spend on another perk. So that's how you get the soldier better in terms of what he does. Trust me, once you actually have a go at it and start to understand it, you know, you'll start to go, oh right, that kind of makes sense. Just remember, don't upgrade his rank until you've got all his perks and you can't add any more perks, because there's no point. You're just wasting soldier orders. So let's have a look at his weaponry next. So at the moment he's got an M3 submachine gun, he's got a knife, he's got a Mark II grenade, he's got a medkit. So he's actually not too bad actually. But if we look at Melvin, what's Melvin got? Melvin's got medkit explosion. So they're very good. Now if you want to change the weaponry for your soldiers, what you do is you go to logistics and you would go to weapons delivery, and then for example go to rifles, and then you spend your weapons orders. Now these are up here on the top right. And you can see here I've got 5 bronze, 6 silver and no gold ones. And you could spend them on buying one of these weapons. Just remember that your soldier can only carry the right weapons for his particular class. So I think so Neil's an assaulter, so he can have machine guns. Melvin's, these are riflemen, so they have the rifles. So just because you've bought a machine gun doesn't mean that you can have he can use it. What you'd have to do is have a different type of soldier. To get a different type of soldier, you go to logistics again, you go to troop reinforcements, and then choose. So there we go. So you could choose an assaulter. We could buy that guy there, and then we could then add him to our squad. And once you've got the weapons, it's dead simple actually. You just go into the soldier, you click on the particular thing you want to change, and you'll see them here. So we could change Neil's Mark II grenade to a some dynamite. So I think, do we do that? Do we drag it over? Yeah. So now he's got the explosion pack, and now we've got the chance to give those grenades to another soldier. Now, although you've got a limited number of these don't run out in game, so you're not using them in the game and you've got to buy more. This is just the opportunity to give them to a soldier. So if I wanted to give the explosion pack to another soldier now, what I would have to do is go and buy one from logistics. That would then appear, which I could then give that to another soldier to make his weapon. So if we go into the machine gun, you go. So if you get the machine, you can see he can't actually use any of these weapons because he's an assaulter. So he's he could use the Springfield, but we haven't unlocked any of the other stuff. So that's kind of how you improve the perks and weaponry of soldiers and change them. Just remember, even at their base level though, most of the soldiers are pretty effective as long as you use them at the particular range. So Neil, he's an assaulter with the submachine gun, so he really wants to be getting in close. The guys who've got the bolt action rifles or the semi-autos, you're using them at medium to long range, so to do it that way. So now let's go and have a look at the upgrades. Now the upgrades kind of put a hard limit often on how far you can upgrade your squads and your soldiers. So let's have a look at personal upgrades first. So these are the personal upgrades for the assaulter. So as you can see here, we've got the whole upgrade tree to follow, and as long as I don't press X, I can look at these. Oop, wrong button. Squared, oh no, I could play X. There we go. So you use squad points to unlock these. So you can see we've got squad points here. We've only got 5, so you've got to use them fairly carefully. Again, you earn them as you're playing the game. So to start off with, get Assaulter of rank 2. So this unlocks a new maximum soldier level for this class. The higher the soldier rank, the higher the maximum level and number of perks. So we could unlock that. So let's unlock it now. And then we can follow this tree. So now if I unlock this, the Assaulter, remember Neil, he actually, when he's playing, he will get 25% more experience, which is really cool. So we could spend a squad point on that. Let's go down to this one. I keep pressing the wrong button, don't I? So if we unlock this, which I've just managed to unlock by pressing the wrong button, so now we can have rank 3 assaulters. And then if we wanted to, we could unlock that to unlock the sidearm, so they could carry pistols. Then if we unlock that, we get 25% more experience for the soldier class. And then if we unlock that one, we can now have Assaulter rank 4. So when you get to Assaulter rank 4, again, that means that the Assaulter class soldiers can have 5 potential perks. So if we just go back to the soldiers. Now remember, in our assault squad here, our airborne squad, we've only got one assaulter. We've got Neil, then we've got Melvin, Christopher and David who are just riflemen. So what we would really want to do is, just as you start upgrading your squad to have the ability for the assaulters to earn more XP and get to higher ranks, you really want more assaulters in that squad. So again, that's where you go to logistics. In fact, let's do one now. Let's go to troops. Let's buy an assaulter. Can we buy an assaulter? Is it going to let us? Yeah, let's purchase an assaulter. So we've now got Scott. Oh, he's a level 3, that's good. So what we can do now is, if we can now go back to our soldiers, go back to the squad. Let's go into... where are we? Oh, sorry, it's down the bottom here, managing soldiers. We're going to click on that. So now we've got Scott. Now Scott, although he's an assaulter, he's only got a Springfield. But what we can do is we can take Melvin out, and we could put... take Melvin out, put Scott in, and then what we can do is, if we go to logistics, let's go to weapons delivery, let's go to assault. Let's buy a M3 machine gun. Did it let me buy that? I'm not sure if it did actually. Let's go back to soldiers then. Soldier, Scott. Let's go look at his weapons. Yeah, there we go. Oh no, it wouldn't let me buy it. I didn't have enough money to buy it. Okay, but what we would do is, when we level enough, we get an M3 machine gun, and then we give it to Scott. So then we've got 2 assaulters in our assault squad, which is pretty good then. So they're going to be earning more XP. So let's go back to upgrades. So that's how you upgrade sort of the possibility, if you like, for soldiers to get better. You follow that tree. Now if we go into squad upgrades, this is where it gets interesting. So this is where we can start to, so you get your reserve increase. So this is, for each squad you can then have more soldiers ready to go in. But what you're really interested in is the ability to add more soldiers to your squads as well. So we can add, so we've just added another soldier, and now we can add an anti-tank gunner to the squad if we wanted, or an engineer to the squad, or a radio operator to the squad, or we could increase our squad size. Now the more people you have in the squad, obviously the more kind of reserve spawns you've got for yourself, which I think is pretty cool. Or we could follow this up here and add 25% more squad experience. So then you've got the fact that the squad is earning more experience, and then you've got your assaulters or whoever's in the squad earning more experience, which means you level up faster, which means you get more squad orders, which means you can upgrade your squads and your personnel even faster. So it's all really good, and again you can see we've got 2 squad points left to spend. But remember, I've got 4 squads here, so you need to spread them over. And then we've got our workshop upgrades, which apply to the particular weapons that that particular squad would specialise in. So we've got the M3 submachine gun, and you can do things like give you more bonus points for when you disassemble the gun to get better, because the way that you improve the guns, let's see if we can see that. Let's go back to soldiers, M3 machine gun, and then yeah, there we go. So down the bottom we've got upgrade, but I haven't got any spare parts, so I can't upgrade it. But down here you would upgrade it, and that would increase things like fire rate, it would decrease the recoil, and things like that. But I'll do a separate video on upgrading weapons. So there we go. Hopefully that's been useful. I know it sounds very complicated, but once you start getting into it, it's not that difficult. Just remember that with each individual soldier, you select your soldier, you go into the perks, and as you're using him and you start to unlock the levels, if you like, the rank of the soldier, you can then add another perk. When you get to the top where you've got all his stars filled in, you can then spend orders on ranking him up. If you don't have enough perk points to get the perk you want, you can spend squad orders on training him to get a random perk points that way. Then you go into either your personnel upgrades to upgrade that particular style of soldier, whether it be a assaulter or a marksman, a sniper, and you can upgrade the squad as well, so it has more squad members, different types of squad members, and can earn more experience and that sort of cool stuff. And then you've got your workshop upgrades, which you tend to do last, which are the ones that improve the weapon. But I don't think you really need to do that much until you're really desperate to spend your squad points. And remember, not only do you have these things within your allies, the Access squad will have different we'll have different squad points as well. They'll all be earning up, and then you can switch campaigns as well, and those different squads within the different campaigns will be leveling up differently as well. So what I like to do is I tend to like to play for a little bit, play a couple of games, and then you've unlocked some perks and some points, and you've got some squad orders, you've got some weapon orders, you've got some personnel orders, soldier orders, and you've got some weapon orders. Then you kind of spend 5 minutes at the end of your play session just going through and upgrading your soldiers and kind of getting them ready for the next play session. Now, if you want to do this faster, you'll see that there's often options to buy things, like with the Enlisted gold that you can buy. But you don't really need to do that. What I would say is, if you're really enjoying Enlisted, what you can upgrade to is you can buy the battle pass, and I think they have a premium pass as well. And what those do is they're multipliers for earning experience, so everything starts to happen a lot faster. So as you're working your way through the campaign, and by the campaign we just mean this leveling up thing here, you'll start to unlock the different squads. So you unlock the fighter, you unlock different weapons, unlock like the flamethrower with the 113th Infantry Regiment, there with the good old M1 Garand. That's definitely worth when you get the M1 Garand and your American soldiers are using that rather than the bolt action rifles, they are much more effective. Then we've got the bazooka. And if you're really enjoying it, then by all means spend a few quid on the battle pass or the premium account, and you will level up faster. Okay, so hopefully that's been useful. If it has been, hit the like button. If you've got any more questions, put them down below. And as I say, if you haven't tried out Enlisted before, check it out. It is really good fun. That's enough from me, and I'll see you again soon.